Hi, my name is Doug Woodruff. I'm a co-op coordinator at Cincinnati State, and I work with Jennifer Geiger. Jennifer and I both work with students in civil engineering technology, which is architecture and construction management, as well as a new bachelor's degree program in land surveying. We work with chemical tech students and students in the environmental engineering technology programs. Since we're both part-time coordinators, I want to make sure that if you email one of us, to be sure that you include both of us on the email. That way, if one of us isn't working, the other one might be able to reply faster. So Jennifer and I normally get the opportunity to introduce ourselves in this class to new students. Since most all classes have gone to a remote delivery again this semester, we've decided to record and introduce ourselves using videos. That way, at least you can put our faces with our names. I'm not very good at writing and making videos, so this is my third attempt. Hopefully, I can get through it in one take this time. Anyways, Doug is my middle name. You'll receive emails from me, possibly from two different emails. One is james.woodruff and the other is doug.woodruff at Cincinnati State. They're both me. James is my first name and Doug is my middle name. If in the future you call me James, I'm just going to consider that you've met with me via email, but don't call me Jim. I don't answer to Jim. I prefer to go by my middle name, Doug. But I just wanted to let you know I've got two emails, james.woodruff and doug.woodruff. So a little bit about myself. I've been at Cincinnati State for 6 years as of this coming December. I've earned a bachelor's degree in management from The Ohio State University, and I've got an MBA from Indiana Wesleyan University. Before I came to Cincinnati State, I worked in the automotive manufacturing industry for about 25 years. I worked my way up to be a plant manager and then director of operations in charge of 2 manufacturing facilities. My responsibilities included facilities management, which meant I was involved with 2 brand new greenfield plant operations, as well as almost annual plant operation expansions over the last 20 years. I've also worked with chemical processing facilities, and I've done air and water sampling and EPA certifications. A lot of what I did in the past directly relates to the majors that I get to work with at Cincinnati State in civil, environmental, and chemical technologies. The companies that I used to work with and work for all recruited students from Cincinnati State. I can tell you personally, Cincinnati State has a great reputation with local employers. They like to employ students in co-op positions from Cincinnati State, and more importantly, they recruit Cincinnati State graduates for full-time positions. On a personal note, I'm a loyal Ohio State fan. Right now, I'm really missing watching my Buckeyes play football. Especially since they were ranked number 2 and going to be facing hopefully Clemson again. But anyways, I enjoy Ohio State football. I really like to play golf, and I enjoy doing almost anything outside. Right now, I'm missing being on campus and seeing everybody in person. I miss seeing students, our faculty, and our employers. And what I like most about my job at Cincinnati State is I get to help students find and get a start in their new career paths. I also get to learn a lot about new technologies personally. So in addition to that, there are some great instructors at Cincinnati State, and I get to work with some really great employers too. So helping students find their first new jobs and their new careers and working with these strong people, that's what I really like to do. My job is fun. So Jennifer and I look forward to working with you on your searches for co-op positions. With that, you need to know that co-op is a competitive process. Finding that co-op job is a competitive process. We encourage each of you to use your own contacts in addition to working with us when it comes time to search for your co-op. Co-op is required in your majors, but there's no guarantee you're going to find a co-op position. Your active involvement in searching with us will improve your chances to land that co-op position. There are potential alternatives for co-op, including using advanced standing, and that's getting academic credit for prior work experience if you've got it. But we can also speak with you on a one-to-one situation about other alternatives to co-op if needed. We and all of your program chairs encourage you to do the co-ops as intended in your curriculum. Most of your curriculums are going to require 2 full-time semesters of co-op. The search for co-op is normally done the semester prior to when you want to co-op. For most majors, including yours, you should have completed at least 2 semesters of classes before you co-op. That way you'll have actual skills to offer your employers, even though you may not have worked in your field of study. Most of you in this class will likely be looking to co-op next summer 21, but it's important that you work with your academic advisors to best identify when you should be co-oping. It's important because not every class that you're going to want to take or you need to take for your curriculum is offered every semester. So you don't want to be working in a co-op and missing classes when you should be in class. That could add unnecessary time for you to complete your degree. And we know it's fact that the longer it takes for you to complete your degree, the less likely you're going to do so. So follow your curriculums as they're intended to do. I would also like to encourage everybody to attend the co-op orientation. Today is Thursday, September the 9th. Thursday, September 10th. At 5 o'clock today, we've got a co-op orientation, so obviously you're not going to make that, but we have got 2 more sessions scheduled this semester. If you can't make one this semester, please attend the co-op orientation in spring. They'll likely be the first or second week in February. So watch for those announcements to come from C-State Career Link. That's our main method of contacting everybody in one massive email is through C-State Career Link. So watch those emails. So a little bit about your resume assignment for this class, and then a little bit about mock interviews. Jennifer and I have given a resume template to your instructors, Dr. Mormon, Mr. Armstrong, and Mr. Habedank. As instructors for this class, we've encouraged them to have you use our resume templates for your resume assignment. Now, you don't have to, it's not set in stone, but our employers are used to seeing those resumes in that format. They're used to the order that everything flows, and it's easy for them to be able to compare skills and compare students that way because they're used to seeing things in a specific order. So it's important that your resume be brief, not more than 1 page. And there's some practical reasons for that in addition to what I'm going to mention here. But if it's more than 1 page, there's a chance that when they print your resume on the printer, they might not pick up that second page and they'll only have a partial resume. So 1-page resume. Remember, what I like to say is a resume is an appetizer. It's not an entree. The resume is just to show enough skills to make you to make the employer want to interview you to get to know more about you. So it's just an appetizer. The sole purpose of a resume is to get an interview. After then, you can expand more upon your experiences. So the top of your resume should include your name and contact information first. Be sure to use your Cincinnati State email. That just verifies you're a student. You need to list your major, expected graduation date, and you can put your GPA at the top if it's greater than a 3.0. You can only brag about your GPA if it's a good GPA, being better than 3.0. The education section at the top is where you list the core courses in your major. That is where your relevant skills at the bottom of your resume are going to come from. The work history section in the middle should include your current job and maybe other recent jobs, but you don't have to list every job you've ever had on this resume. The middle section, the work history section, is the least important section to you because most of you have not worked in your fields of study and your potential employers know that. The relevant skills section at the bottom of the resume for most of you is going to be the most important section because that's where you get to list the skills that you're learning currently in school that make you become a valuable employee for them in the future. So for example, if you're in the surveying program this semester, you're likely taking the Intro to Surveying class. Make sure in the relevant skills sections that you indicate that you know how to set up and use a total station. The relevant skills section can also include transferable skills, such as the ability to use Microsoft Office applications like Word and Excel and PowerPoint, or OSHA certifications like you'll receive an OSHA 10 certification at the end of this semester. Remember to keep your resume to 1 page. It's brief, but spelling and proper grammar is important. So before you turn your resume in, have somebody else read your resume to catch mistakes that you didn't see because you worked on it. You get used to the fact that you think you've spelled something correctly and you may not have. Have somebody else review your resume to catch those simple mistakes. Now, about mock interviews. A mock interview is your chance to practice an interview. The more you interview, the more confidence you'll have, and the more likely you'll get a job offer from those interviews. There's no risks here. You're not interviewing for a job. These are employers that I like to bring in that like to hire our students, and I also like to bring in employers that haven't yet gotten the opportunity to hire a co-op. I give the mock interviewers this is their chance as a potential employer to really come in and cherry pick, I guess. They get to meet students in their first semester of the program before everybody else gets to meet them. Normally, we have far more employers looking to hire co-op students than we have students to send out. So this is our opportunity to meet you first, and it might end up in a co-op opportunity or maybe a full-time job in the future. So this semester, those mock interviews are going to be virtual online video chats. Some employers like to use Zoom, others like to use Microsoft Teams, others use Google Meets. Get yourself used to those programs and familiarize yourself with that software. You want to dress to impress, even though it's a video. You want to wear at least a coat and a tie. Maybe you could get by with a sport coat and a tie if you're a guy, or a sport coat and a golf shirt. Make sure you be on time, and be sure you're asking questions in these interviews. People like to talk about the companies that they work for, and they like to talk about themselves. So research the companies that you're going to be interviewing for. Know who their competitors are. Know what kinds of recent projects they've been working on. And ask questions. If it's a two-way conversation, which it's meant to be, time will fly in that interview. You'd be surprised. If you just sit there like a bump on a log and let the other person ask all the questions, they may not have an interest in you. So make sure you portray an interest in them. So in the future, when you meet with me and Jennifer, when you start your co-op searches, we're going to ask who you did your co-op mock interview with. Make sure you keep that contact information. In the past, these were all in person, and you were able to get a business card. In today's world, you're probably going to get an email with a video link in that email. So keep that email. When you start looking, we're going to ask you to contact that mock interviewer first. Going through my notes. I think that's about everything. But remember, it's a no-risk opportunity to put your best foot forward. You might be meeting your next boss. And don't just do a no-show either. That's more important. People will remember you. It's a small world out there. Many of these companies recruit employees from other companies. And there's a good chance, because it is a small world, if you stand somebody up for this interview or you ghost them or whatever, they're going to remember you. So be sure that you show up for those mock interviews and be attentive, okay? Ask questions. So I hope I've covered everything in this video, and I look forward to meeting everybody on campus in the near future, and I hope to see everybody soon. Thank you for watching my video.